$20,000. That's how much money I poured into this thing. Let's see if it's worth it. Let me tell you, I've owned this 4Runner for quite a long time. This is what it looked like stock, and this is how it looks now. So I'm going to be breaking down all the costs that I've put onto this. It doesn't include anything like labor or parts that I originally had on it, but basically how the vehicle sits now is what I'm going to be going over. Let's get into it. So I'm going to be breaking this down into 3 sections. The first section is going to be about suspension and wheels. I have it all right here on my phone. Second one is going to be exterior mods and lighting. And the third thing is going to be interior and tech. First thing is we have Dirt King 3.5-inch long travel on this thing. The cost on this is about $4,700, paired with the King coilovers that are long travel spec'd for the Dirt King. That was also about $2,000. So just with these 2 things, I'm already about $6,000 into just suspension alone. I've only owned this for about 4 months, and I will say that it has changed the way that the vehicle drives completely. I've already taken it out to the desert to test it out, and let me tell you, it is insanely different than what it was before. Before I only had mid-travel Dobinsons, and now I'm on long travel, and it is a complete day and night difference. So that's $6,000 worth it. All right, so onto the rear. Right now I am running Dobinsons rear suspension, so that would be the shocks as well as the springs. On this is just a temporary setup. My plan is to do 3-link in the rear once I finish up the front end, but as of right now this will do. So this is the Dobinsons rear shocks and the springs. So for this setup, I actually ended up getting it used off of a fellow 4Runner, 4th gen 4Runner owner. So I only spent about $675 for the shocks and the springs. As of right now, this is worth it just because it actually does pretty well. It doesn't really need a super crazy setup in the rear as of right now, as I've tested the 4Runner out in the desert. So for a budget build, I would definitely say this is worth it. So also in the rear, I have the Eimkeith Panhard correction kit. This is very necessary for when you lift the rear. It's so that way the Panhard is level for better stability. It is definitely worth it. Almost every 4th gen 4Runner, maybe even all 4th gen or every 4Runner owner needs to add this because it helps with stability, so definitely worth it. Alrighty, so now that's pretty much all the suspension that I've talked about. Now we're going to be talking about the wheels and tires on my 4th gen 4Runner. The wheels that I have on this vehicle are the Stealth Custom Gen 5s in the polished finish. They are 17x9 -38. This costed $1,700. I was fortunate enough to find these at a tire shop, and so they installed it and everything, and it came out beautiful. It's also wrapped in Nitto trail grapplers, 35 12.5 17s, and they were $1,744. Me personally, I think it's worth it just because it gives it a very nice look. The polish with the silver complements it very well, and Nitto is a great tire brand. I'm part of Nitto pit crew, so they've been great. They're great service, and they treat me very well, so definitely worth it. So the next thing that I have wheel wise is the KSP 1.5-inch spacers. I added those in the rear only, as the front is already long traveled. This is just so that way the rear matches the front. For a set of those spacers, it came out to $120. I think it's worth it just because it helps with the aesthetics. It doesn't really benefit performance wise, but aesthetically it looks a lot better. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about wheel wise is the DRT fabrication cab mount relocation kit. This costed $265. I definitely think it's worth it because it gives it a little extra room to clear those big 35s. I will say though that I am still rubbing on the 35s. I've already done some trim and cuts on the fenders. I pushed the caster forward and it's still rubbed, unfortunately. The only real way to not rub is to tub the inner fender liner or the inner fender wells. And so that would be something that I'm going to be doing in the future. Definitely worth it on the cab mount relocation. It'll prepare me for the future once I do the tubbing of the inner wheel wells. So the next thing I want to talk about, this is part 2. This is going over the exterior of the vehicle. So the first thing I want to go over is the bumper cuts and the flares cuts. Those are free. I did that in my garage. I actually made a separate video on this. I can throw this up in the corner so that way you guys can refer to it. But basically, you know, just followed the body lines and that was pretty much it. I think it was worth it just because it aesthetically looks a lot better and it just looks more aggressive. So the next thing is the hood. It is a OEM sports hood. I actually got this for free. I went through insurance for a accident. While getting it repaired, I decided to opt in for the sport hood, so technically free. But obviously if you were to try to do this, there's a cost to it. So definitely worth it aesthetically. So next thing is the headlights. These are Freedom Outfitter headlights. Unfortunately, the company went out of business, so can't really get them anymore. But these headlights right here, they costed, or I actually won them in a giveaway. So I got really lucky. But these originally go for about $1,100. So if you were to try to get these, $1,100. If I didn't win these in a giveaway, would I want to spend $1,100 on these headlights? Probably, because I like the fact that the high beam is a Baja design light, and so it looks pretty cool, and it's a cool factor. There are the Alpha Rex headlights that just came out. Would I choose those ones over this one? It's hard to say, honestly. Me personally, because obviously I won them in a giveaway, they're definitely worth it. Are they worth $1,100? Up to you guys. So the next thing is the Baja Design fog lights. These were custom made. The 4th gen does not come with a kit, similar to the 3rd gens, the 5th gens, and the Tundras. So this was custom made. This was about $300 for the lights alone. And then obviously there was labor involved for the custom work. Definitely worth it, very bright, helps when I'm on trails or out in the middle of nowhere at night, so definitely worth it. I also have the Baja Design Squadron ditch lights. They are $261. I like them. They're definitely worth it for me because when I'm on a trail, I have the side shooting lights so that way I can see the ground. So definitely worth the investment. One of the most asked things I get are these mirrors right here. These mirrors right here are JDM mirrors that were imported from Japan. I bought these about 2 years ago from a gentleman on Instagram. I have not seen him active lately, so I don't know if these are even attainable anymore or not. So, and it's not gatekeeping, this is just how it is. So I got these mirrors for $350. Definitely worth it. Aesthetically, it looks amazing. It's something that is unique and is actually pretty much one-off now. So next is the Sherpa roof rack. That I got really lucky on as well. I went to a event and won a $750 gift card for Sherpa, and also at the time they had a discount going on, so I actually got this for $750, but the actual MSRP for this rack is about $1,500. I also have these Baja Design S2 lights as well as the S1 lights that are paired to this. Those were about $240 a piece. This combination was well worth it. It has the ability to put a roof rack on it or rooftop tent if I need to. And the lights help with camping and, you know, night desert runs. Overall, the investment was worth it. So next thing exterior wise are these taillights. I actually got these on Amazon. The cost on these were $260. I like it because it gives it a little bit more of a modern look. It kind of looks like a GX. So definitely think it's worth it aesthetically. Performance wise, it's just a taillight. So overall, I like the aesthetic and it's worth it in my opinion. So one of my favorite mods that I put on this vehicle is the Onboard Air System. This is the sponsored by Wi-Fi Onboard Air System. I love this because I can go anywhere and deflate and inflate my tires. It's definitely a well worth mod in my opinion. It is very pricey though. I spent $1,800 on this setup. But even though it was $1,800, I think it's one of those mods that for me personally, it was necessary because it makes my life so much easier. The first interior mod that I would like to go over is the Switch Pro 9100. This is the controller that controls everything on this vehicle. It controls the onboard air system and it also controls the exterior lighting. This is definitely worth it. I also got it to where it was custom into the sunglass holder, which is pretty unique. So definitely worth it. This actually came with the vehicle when I first got it, but if you wanted something similar to this, the part itself, the Switch Pro, is about $600. Me personally, I think it's worth it because it has a great, it controls the lights very well, and it's something that makes everything look aesthetically pleasing. So the last thing I want to go over interior wise, there's not very much. I kept this build pretty clean on the interior, but the last thing is the Reload off-road dome lights. This one is the dual and the back one is a single that swivels. I think it's well worth it because it changes colors and it gives it more of a rugged look on the interior. I got these for free, so thank you Reload Off-Roading for that. But if you want to do something similar, if you want both, it would cost about $250. So it was definitely worth it in my opinion. Aesthetically, it looks cool and the lights are also really cool. So yeah, I'm pretty much $20,000 deep into this build. But here's the thing, everything that I've done to this has either made it better off-roading, made it better aesthetically, or it just made it better to drive. So me personally, I think every dollar that I spent into this was well worth it. So if you're thinking of building a 4Runner or you're mid-build, drop a comment on your most wanted mod. And if you liked this cost breakdown, consider subbing and dropping a comment on what you would like to see next, because there's plenty more to come on this build.